What the fuck is Aura? Well, before it was getting used by streamers, Walter Benjamin, a German Jewish philosopher from the anti-war period, used Aura in his analysis of art in the modern age. At the time, photography and film were allowing for the constant reproduction of artworks in a way that had never been done before, allowing for infinite copies to be made of a singular piece of art. Benjamin, in response to this, points out how physical pieces of art that we have in front of us have a certain aura that we experience in their unique presence. And this doesn't necessarily only go out to works of art, it could be natural objects as well, like physically experiencing what might be called a beautiful mountain range allows us to feel the aura of that mountain range in a way that the mechanical reproduction of that mountain range through photography or through film just doesn't quite get across. Because the unique aura of those objects comes from the unique history and the unique stories which comes along with that object. And Benjamin, back in the 1920s, argued that we as society were experiencing a degrading of aura through photography and film and these mechanical ways of reproducing things, basically destroying the actual unique experience you would have with singular artworks through endless perfect copies, which wasn't necessarily all bad. It did allow for the sharing of these artworks to places that would never have been possible, but it did also mean that we now valued art differently. Art once had a ritualistic value, focused on the uniqueness of the singular object, but started to have an exhibitional value as a commodity, which focused on the aesthetic reproduction of the same artwork over and over again. But in some ways, we now live in even stranger times in an age of digital reproduction, where we're not only even farther away from maybe an object's original aura, but we can't necessarily even trust the authenticity of what we're watching. The idea that we may actually be watching things which have manipulated aura. Something Benjamin mentions in relation to how cinema was also able to represent things in a very controlled manner, but which now feels like an even greater issue.